We're the Woodworths, and this week we're attending a week-long timber framing class. We intend to use what we learn here to build our own timber frame cabin and outbuildings at our off-grid property in Arkansas. All right, we've made it. We've made it. Willie did so good. Your hair really? you grunge now? What was that? Willie slept for 3.5 hours.
Oh my gosh, he's not going to sleep at all tonight. Which one were you?
Let me look. Hold this.
Okay. David! Come on, Dave, let's go open it. Okay. There you go, Dave, you're in.
After checking in at our Airbnb in town, we ran straight out to the school for dinner and a quick tour of all the facilities.
Needs met while you're here, how the bathrooms work, showers, that level of stuff. But, obviously for any questions at any point too. But we do have Wi-Fi. If you ever need to, dry stuff out, feel free to use that. How many people have used this kind of 5-gallon bucket type toilet system?
That's what we have in our cabin.
2 people, yeah.
That's what we have at home, yeah.
You live with it? Whatever you do in there, take a screw saw it up.
The school is actually based here at Ziggy's property where his family lives. So year-round, they are working on timber frames or teaching. Ziggy also has courses on plastering and straw bale construction, 2 techniques that you'll see later in this video as we look at some of the other buildings on the property. You may notice in this video all of the stone walls. They are dry stacked. Berea, Kentucky, this area of Kentucky is the artisan capital of the state, and I was completely impressed with how much craftsmanship there was in most of the places we went during this week. Another one of the students actually owns another school that teaches natural building techniques called the Mud Dauber School down in central North Carolina. I'm going to link both of these courses, both of these schools in the description and the comments of these videos so that you can check them out. It's Saturday morning and we're headed to day 1 of our timber framing course. We checked in last night and had dinner with everybody, did the meet and greet thing, and now we're actually going to get to doing class. Most of the students are actually camping here on the grounds, so they have breakfast and coffee, and then we jump into curriculum. So day 1 was a tour of all the buildings on the property that were built during previous timber framing classes. This first small building you see is a Japanese storage building meant for family heirloom type goods. The frame for this building was cut during a previous class, and then a plaster class came through and did all the plaster work you see on the outside. Eventually, this will be Ziggy's office.
All the shear is provided by repeating horizontal pieces, which we don't technically have. I don't even think we had temporary breaks for some reason. The whole building just like went that way, like 3 inches. Yeah, Nick and I, we got the tractor, had a strap attached to this tie beam here, and just pulled on it. The whole building went back to plumb. So I was like, that's kind of a good. I'm like, I don't know how to feel about this, but I think ultimately it's fine. Like, this is a really interesting. You know, the Nuki, these are called Nuki, yeah. Being up and down the whole height of the wall, wedged securely from both sides, it becomes, you know, a rigid panel. But to kind of compare and contrast, these posts all have center lines basically drawn on each face. So all the joinery then is centered rather than set to that, you know, reference edge or reference corner. So that's another big difference.
Next, Ziggy walked us through how the floors were put together inside of this pavilion. They are a Korean style of joinery and a pain. He admits they're gorgeous, but he's pretty much good on doing that for the rest of his life, and I don't blame him.
That's just a square cut.
Square board.
Yeah, yeah. Some of the last ones do have a couple screws because they were like,
Yeah, I wouldn't do it again the way I did it. For basically like oak, like we love oak, and there's no perfect wood, right? Like oak, the problem is movement. So I don't really want to point it out right now, but if you have an eye for it, you'll see like, wow, a lot of these joists have a lot of like crown, like more than I would consider acceptable for a floor. But that meant like, yeah, I had to deal with it. It's not perfect material, you know, nothing, you know, like what is a natural material too, right? Like, and it has a lot of quirks. So yeah, oak, it moves a lot, especially in smaller dimension material. It's like less stable. So these floor joists, I would consider, you know, on the smaller side in terms of like how much it's going to move later. It's more susceptible, in other words. But the floor was very challenging, to say the least. Like the grooves, you know, were cut in the oak when it was green, but then, you know, over the course of, I don't know how many months, but like, you know, the groove's no longer this perfect 3/4 inch, you know, straight thing. It's like, oh, it's a little thinner here, a little thicker there, like, and everything is depending on this fit, right? For it to not feel like loose or bouncy or whatever. So there's just a lot of like individual accounting, you know, in that type of floor system.
The next thing we did was head out to the yard and look at this frame that had been assembled before we arrived. We're going to be making a bench just like this in this class. Well, actually several, but this is the one that they've pre-assembled and labeled, and it's going to be our reference for learning all of the different parts of a frame. So we're going to be seeing this a whole lot and probably running back and forth to it a whole lot throughout the week. With all those notes in our notebooks, we headed over to the timbers so that we could actually start looking at them and figuring out layout and learning how to read the plans for this building. That was so critical for all of us.
I do like this corner the best, which is what I had in mind before.
That is now the Eris.
So that's the Eris. We're not going to actually do any end cuts because once we go there, we want to be able to verify, like, oh, is this slab actually even level? Because if it's not, we at least left ourselves the opportunity to like either add or subtract whatever it is. Really important to have, you know, some finesse with just the simple act of making marks. So the whole idea is we're gonna run the tape measure once, make all the key marks, and then put the tape measure away.
After a very detailed walkthrough of layout, we were turned loose with our tools and pencils and one community pencil sharpener that is way cooler than any pencil sharpener I currently own. And we got to work laying out posts. So each one of us took one post and focused on making that post perfect. And then the instructors would come through and help us as we went. And we were free to ask all the questions because we had all the questions.
This comes up here.
Can you walk through it with me real quick? Which face is the west side?
West side. That's pretty good.
West
How did you
side.
guys realize that on the inverse
We got our tie-beam mortise. We're 2 inches and 1.5 inches. So this one, top one's going to be 2 inches, bottom one's going to be 1.5 inches. So we come down to here, and we do top one, 2 inches, so 1, 2, and this one, 8, 3.
Layout is tedious and draining, but doing it correctly will set you up for the rest of your work to be worth it. It's the end of our first day here at the Year of Mud, and we've had a great time. Today we focused on getting into the nitty-gritty of layout. Do I regret making this my 30th birthday present? No, not at all. We got into talking a bit about selecting timbers for milling, how you should request them to be milled when you go through a mill, what you're looking for in how to cut on the mill if you're doing it yourself. I think this is a really fantastic investment in our future out at the property because we intend to build several structures this way and to teach this kind of construction to the boys. It's a big commitment. Layout was pretty crazy, very tedious, but in looking at their plans and getting to see how it translates to actual timbers, we now know the level of detail that we need to get into with our own plans for future buildings. That is incredibly valuable to us. I'm ready for day 2. I have no idea what's for dinner, but it smells really good. We are gonna hang out until dinner time, eat here with everyone, and then head back to the Airbnb, and we'll be back in the morning. My mom and dad brought the boys out this afternoon, so they're getting to explore the property now. Dave's been a trooper hanging out all day. Where's Willie? There's Willie. Hi, Willie.
Not sure what the.
Okay. This is very important. I'm far less concerned about the bevel than I am the back, because the back represents a lot more work to actually flatten and polish than this bevel. But you also want some contact along these two sides as well. So this is the reverse of that. Only the middle right now without having done a lot more flattening is actually making contact. You know, when you buy a new chisel, it might be more expensive, but you've also probably saved a lot of time on just actually getting the tool usable and sharpenable. So there's a big trade-off, right, between like old tools, new tools, getting them to a point where you can actually like effectively sharpen them and use them. These are kind of the general steps. If you get into hand tools, all roads eventually lead to Japan, I feel like. So everything out here people can use.
Since this workshop is designed for everyone at every skill level, Ziggy went into painstaking detail on showing us how to use the sharpening station and what we wanted to look for in tools as we went forward, since we are all starting with a pretty basic set of chisels and saws. The better you sharpen things, the easier it is for you to get your work done. And we all were a little intimidated by heading up here, but quickly we figured out that everyone needed to be sharpening constantly.
The only people that don't do that are the weirdos that like try to hold a mattress on the top of their roof with their hands. You know? Those are not people to be trusted. I got it.
Really basic joint, really good to kind of get comfortable with, you know, sawing and chiseling and, you know, checking your work as you go with your straight edge to ensure that you're getting a nice flat surface for these rafters to drop in later.
This one?
Yeah, I don't know. Well, it's whatever. Okay, I'm just gonna do one, not that one. It's always a question of take the line, leave the line, split the line. We don't want to have to like hammer these rafters in. We just want to set them in nicely and gently. Where it's really clear grain, you might get away with just a single kerf cut down the middle, but to be maybe more cautious, we'll do two, even on a small cut like this. So yeah, I'm not quite even touching line. And then yeah, once I've got a track established, I'm gonna go as far as I can to touch the line with the saw teeth. And chisels come out. The fuzz inside. Score it again.
If you continue to try to take it off in one large piece like that, chances are there's going to be some tear out.
Yeah.
And you can do it with a razor. They have like marking knives as well.
Kirdashis.
Yeah. Right. Well, they'll have the bevel on one side because a razor, you can get kind of squirrely, especially if it's hard wood like oak. Oak doesn't score so well with a razor.
Yeah. People don't want to just go, take the whole triangle out. And there's no rush. Just to say too, for all of this, like just seriously take your time. This is like the fun part, right? So.
That bevel or not, you can adjust.
Hello. First cut.
First what?
First one.
Mm-hmm. Probably the sharpest thing.
After a quick trip over to this sharpening station, it was time for us to learn a new skill. So we headed back to the tent for another demo.
So there's two new tasks, multiple tasks, new tasks coming down the pipe. But one will be drilling all the peg holes, which seems like it's early for, but it's not really. Because some of them, especially in the tenon, you can't sit that stand on. You see the size of the drill stand? It doesn't really work to fit it when you've already cut the tenon out. So especially the tenons, it's really nice to do those now. And it's so fast, even though you're going through more wood than you would normally, it just makes sense to do it.
You can also get a foot up on this little platform here. So as I get your tip
It
in
would help
there,
to have a partner just to help kind of guide the stand.
I like to sight down just ever so slightly and make sure my blade isn't like making contact too roughly, because like you can bias that too far in one direction. So I'll just give it a quick little sight down to make sure I'm kind of centered. Clamp it, and then the drill starts pulling itself in. If it starts getting bogged down because it's filled up with wood, you'll hear that in your drill. But she's still singing pretty nicely, so I'm just going to keep going. It's struggling a little. And then when you're about to come through the other side, that drill tip won't be able to pull through anymore. It runs out of material to grab into. So you have to then apply some pressure. I told Ziggy not to ask you to leave. I said there's still hope.
You said we were good.
Yeah.
It doesn't look like anything was messed up, so it's good.
So that's
Took me long enough.
Drilled it. The drills are really nice. They like along the edge of the bit to see how lined up you are. Anyone want to just come in and see what I'm talking about? Just sight down. A lot of it is just like sighting. So sight down as much as you can this way. So I'm happy with that. You'll hear it. They don't have the same pizzazz. So now it's just cranking.
Couldn't you? I mean, you could do roughly the same thing with one of these, but with a bigger bit, right?
Yeah. We were just talking about that. But we want to have fun. Get exercise. Some people are talking about the gym, going to the gym.
I do like the chips as that.
Yeah.
Looks like little chips.
Potato chips.
David, shut it.
And then, yeah, you could tell when it bottoms out because there's no longer, you know.
Pretty big chunk, don't it?
Don't do it yet. I'm like right here.
What if you made like a big block of cheese and then cut it like this? Like little cheese chips. Yeah. This is other, yeah.
All these tent camping situations are at risk here. Boy. are leaving from day 2 of the timber framing course. It was definitely more hands-on, and they went back through while we were working on all of that stuff and double-checked all of our beams that we did yesterday and posts with all the layout, which was cool. And they have like a red crayon they mark everything with, so
We were good.
yeah, we did good. He did good. We work best when I get out of the way, or when I know to get out of the way. But yeah, super cool experience so far. It's only Sunday, so we've got Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Friday's the last day. That's when we'll, like, I think, raise the frame. So a ton of material left to cover, and we're already feeling a lot more competent and capable for the plans that we have.
And our chisels are very sharp.
And our chisels are stupid sharp.
I think tomorrow we get to see the chain mortiser.
Yeah, the chain mortiser should be cool because these mortises are nice to cut manually. They're cool, but the chain mortiser is more like what we're going to be doing at home.
Yeah, they're expensive, but the amount of time you save building a house
That scale, it's worth it.
is like immeasurable.
Usually anything that resembles a ball is fair game.
Right. So I'm going to use a pull saw. We're doing cross cut to expose this end tenon. Technically, I'm going to get my chisel out to help identify the shoulder a little bit before I expose that. But this end cut, if you think about it, the only thing that you're really leaving is the end of the tenon, and the end of the tenon is going to be buried inside the mortise. And we're making our mortises intentionally shallow so our tenon doesn't actually make contact and hold our joist open. It's more for placement. Again, it's like there shouldn't be so much pressure. You shouldn't really be torquing down on it. You kind of want to move evenly across what you can see. Hit one line, come down and intentionally like remove the other line. And once I have those lines all the way across, it's sort of like you always want to be cutting on a diagonal. Because again, going through this thick of a timber, come back around, maybe lift a little, and get some pinching. There it is.
It's pretty.
All right, and of course, most of that doesn't matter, so it's inconsequential that it's pretty. Now, not down like that.
That's pretty tricky.
Here with my saw.
Ultimately, you know, if you stayed off of it, then you'd have a whole lot of really difficult end grain to clean up, because that measurement, you know, that shoulder represents the crucial measurement, right, from the post bottom to the top where the plate is bearing.
And this, I might not recommend in terms of posturing. I'm applying some downward pressures with my left thumb. So I'm really not trying to tweak the blade. I'm trying to let it ride in its groove how it wants to.
After watching Nick cut the first tenon, we got to work on some of the reliefs on our own posts. Then it was time for the demonstration we'd all been waiting for, the chain mortiser. That thing is gnarly. That won't stop
That
him.
was like a super simple resharpen, though.
Right, they're not
There's no-
curved or
yeah.
angled. You do good eye. You come through pretty much.
But they last a long time, right?
Mm-hmm. Then I got my eye on this right side edge. I'm gonna stop right there, and you can see. You can see what I have left and see how that treats me. Okay, she feels the distance. I just wanted to confirm that I wasn't grossly over my line. When it comes down to cleaning out the other side, I bet.
You're good.
That's a delight. Eyes. You know, the grain is changing in like, I don't know, countless different directions. So it's like, there comes a time when it's like, there's only so much you can do with hand tools to try to preserve this and prevent it from blowing out. And these little battery powered planers are really, really effective for, I mean, just tenons generally, especially these through tenons, but doubly so when the grain is just so wild because it's not very likely to want to tear it out. Okay, let me see.
Can you recheck mine too?
You want the sound effect? You gotta earn the sound effect. That's good. Here's a little tiny,
Don't listen to this.
little teeny tiny, or maybe that was just a loose chip. That was a loose chip. Yeah, that's awesome.
Is it any too wide, or is that fine? I mean,
It gets a little wide in the middle, but it's not like ultra loose either. So. Ways to, you use the tenon checker
Yes.
and it fits.
Mhm.
And then this. This looks good. Yeah.
Sweet.
Awesome. It's nice.
Thank you. Okay. So hold on this then. Alright, it is day 3 here at the timber framing course. Woody's gonna watch the kids for me for a couple minutes because Grandma and Grandpa were sleeping in today. And I'm gonna get the plug-in fan that we're gonna charge and hopefully use to help Willie get a good nap out here. good. It actually has a light too, so. While I put Willie down for a nap in front of the new fan in a rocking chair, everyone else ran around, split up between two groups. One group was over here in the yard working on these posts while the other was under the tent, and all of a sudden it seemed like we were making incredible speed.
Power tools expedite the process. Yeah, just more generally too, like when we're out here working, you know, we're never like working on just one timber, have everything even oriented the same way, and just come through with one tool and do everything that we can. It's really fun when you kind of get into that. Well, you're not even, you know, I mean, you're looking at the line, of course, but you can be really confident that you're right on the whole time. So there's the biggest block possible. And then you can just roll it and use the sling.
It's like half a day's work.
Well, we would probably use this. But
Oh gosh.
it's not much faster.
Okay. It's the end of the second day of hands-on stuff. And all of the beams pretty much look like this.
It was just not seamed all the way down.
We've still got to get some instruction on how to cut these out. There's a couple more areas like this that need to get cut out.
There's a little bit of kind of like remaining joinery, not a ton.
It really pulls them out.
There's also
I'm going to shift it over one more time again, but it should stay. Going this way. Good. Thank you. So now you can go ahead and it's about 5 turns on this to get up to the next line. 1, 2,
3, because all of it had like one that you could sweep it the other way, just one to
Yeah, on there.
You guys want
But
to
you
pause
have
for
like,
a
like a
minute?
little lock,
Yeah,
so there's
sure.
no way you do it unless you like try it. When you do the thing, you're gonna sweep.
Pause
You
it,
know,
pause it, pause
What are
it.
you saying?
like you know how to
Ziggy told me that you ride up, you want to get as close to the line as possible. In theory, you could, if you knew you could do a perfect cut, you could just take the line. But you don't want to go too far because you can always clean it up with the chisel and rapid plane after. So you kind of riding the saw up, and then when you get to what I would call a little shoulder here, then you switch the saw over, and then finish when you get to the line, which is also marked by that other circular saw cut, and then let the saw stop before trying to remove it so it doesn't like bite or kick or do something weird. And then you should be able just to knock this out.
That's the fun part.
Oh, wow.
So sad.
Beautiful.
The braces are really repetitive, but if you've got a good system in place, you've got all these set up next to each other, just keep, you know, it's like an assembly line basically, or a production line, whatever.
So
Laughable.
sick.
This is as big as it gets, I'm pretty sure. 12-inch wide blade.
So they just took half of the planer off and put a handle on it.
Yeah.
Love that.
Now we're getting close to the end of the class, and we're actually at the point where it's time to talk about finishing these timbers. So this morning, Ziggy's lined up a demonstration for us, strictly on sanding.
Yeah, just like sanding anything, you're not like
Yeah, keep
you're not
moving.
stationary. You're certainly not forcing it down, but you want to move it, and you don't want to go like. It's not about like racing back and forth. It's just like very slow, very steady, back and forth. I mean, that's it, really. Which I personally am not a huge fan of like a massive chamfer. I just want like
To not cut yourself.
yeah. Especially moving these around is so sharp. Alright, so finishes are kind of a interesting topic here. But the idea of the finish is that, for one, of course, it enhances the appearance of the wood, and two, is going to help protect against the elements. So basically, sun and water, the things that we need to survive on Earth, are also just the most devastating to to these materials. You know, prolonged exposure to UV and prolonged exposure to just like precipitation and moisture, you know, is gonna degrade the wood. So there's only so many finishes really that are appropriate for timbers like this, because you don't ever want to create like an impermeable surface. Yeah, this is like a whole big rabbit hole in and of itself. I'm just trying to like pare it down. So like these,
What?
just literally done.
Woo!
After all this.
Done.
Kind of defeats the bubbles, but whatever. They're so cute. Oh my gosh.
And this will be your south face.
I was thinking for B3 though.
Southwest.
I could go
On B3?
just one more.
Scarf joint fit up.
You lucky dog, you called it. Just a smidgen. Can you go a little bit more? Oh, it's not going. Oh, you can't.
Get some
right
clamps
there.
involved to take out any twists, because you know we're not working in a shop here with a completely level floor. Tapping. That's very. Keep going. It's engaged. I'm gonna,
And lift it at the same time.
That felt like it did something.
It's almost there. I'll watch it.
This pavilion and the pizza oven inside of it were built during other courses here at the farm. Today was our last full day of the course. It was also pizza night. And ice cream. Yes, April made ice cream. Should come back tomorrow for a fit up. So almost everything is done being cut out, and now it's just making sure it all fits together. Alright, last day of school. Last day of school.
Yes.
So I think we're both feeling really good about the whole process so far.
Propane guy, what are you doing? You had plenty of shoulder.
I'm just gonna throw them right over here and block the driveway a little. but maybe throw some of that wood underneath one leg, shim it up.
Thank you, Morris.
So like infill.
That's fantastic.
In between all the frames with that.
Yeah.
Good.
Kind of feel like and angle.
I really do like that aesthetic.
End up nothing. Nearly. No, I didn't have French meeting.
Oh, yeah.
Did anyone feel building?
It is our final day. Can you believe it? Does it feel long or short or what? How did it feel?
It was good.
The days were long, the week was short.
We spent the first part of that last rainy morning working on cutting rafter pockets for the roof and laying out the pitch. That was more of a demonstration than a thing we did, but we learned a lot. Almost last, but definitely not the least exciting thing, we're about to break out the blowtorch.
Hey, don't go anywhere. We're gonna burn these things.
Yeah.
I promise burning.
After doing the demonstration of the burning, it was finally time to assemble the bents, which all of the guys were really thrilled for, and I was pretty happy to just watch.
The big ol'
Commander.
Don't let it go down, but maybe you can put that shit underneath. And then on
There you go, right there.
Nice.
It's gotta be in the post.
Right. We're just not there yet.
I know. Starting now.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, start the brace in the post rather than.
No driving. Blame the road.
There it is. Yeah. Okay. Hammer.
Hang it towards y'all.
Persuader.
Attitude adjustment. Bring the tail a little bit this way.
Nice. So I can see that we're shifting pretty far. We're going to try to break that and get it. Beautiful. Engaged. Look at that. That went in nicely. Just all engaged.
Yeah.
Everything. Tear out.
We need to bring, if anything, the tail just a little bit this way.
Green mountain.
Oh.
And with that, our class was coming to an end. We successfully assembled the bent, and I think everyone is walking away grateful. Grateful for the good food, energized by the excitement of being with people passionate about this craft, and ready to put all this knowledge to use. Now our family is off to our barndominium in North Carolina. Make sure to check the description of this video in the comments section where I'll have links to this course and some other resources you might find helpful. Thank you, huge thank you to Ziggy, Nick, April, and everyone else who pitches in to put these workshops on. It was a wonderful way to celebrate my 30th birthday. This is Woody's Barndominium. Thanks for watching.